Act as if God is with you. My friends, there is one idea that has the power to transform an ordinary life into an extraordinary one. It is not a complicated philosophy. It is not reserved for scholars, saints, or the wealthy. It is simply this: act as if God is with you every moment of every day. Imagine what would happen if you truly believed that. Would you fear tomorrow? Would you doubt your purpose? Would you speak negatively about yourself? Would you quit the moment life became difficult? Probably not. The greatest battles people fight are not outside themselves. They are fought within the mind. Fear whispers that you are too late. Doubt tells you that you are not enough. Worry paints pictures of disasters that never happen. But faith speaks a different language. Faith says, keep going. Faith says there is a way. Faith says you are not walking alone. The person who acts as though God walks beside them develops a quiet confidence that no circumstance can destroy. Notice I did not say they become arrogant. Confidence built on ego disappears when criticism arrives. Confidence built on faith grows stronger with every challenge. When you know you are supported by a higher power, you stop measuring yourself by temporary setbacks. Every obstacle becomes a lesson. Every delay becomes preparation. Every disappointment becomes direction. Life changes because your interpretation changes. Many people wake up expecting problems. They prepare themselves for failure before the day even begins. They rehearse worry. They practice fear. Then they wonder why anxiety follows them. Instead, begin every morning with a different expectation. Walk into the day believing that divine wisdom is already making a path before you. When challenges appear, refuse to panic. Pause, breathe, then quietly say, God is already here. Those 4 words have incredible power. They remind your mind that you are never facing life alone. Too often, people pray only after they become desperate. But what if prayer became your first response instead of your last resort? What if every meeting, every conversation, every decision began with an awareness that divine guidance was available? Think about how differently you would live. You would choose your words more carefully. You would treat people with greater kindness. You would become slower to anger and quicker to forgive. Why? Because you would recognize that every person carries value in the eyes of their Creator. When you act as though God is present, integrity becomes natural. You no longer ask, what can I get away with? Instead, you ask, what is right? Character is built when no one is watching. Faith is revealed when no one is applauding. Success that lasts is always built upon character. Your greatest asset is not your money. It is not your education. It is not your talent. Your greatest asset is your relationship with truth. A person who honors truth eventually earns trust, and trust opens doors that money never can. Many people believe miracles belong only to history, but miracles often begin as simple acts of obedience. One courageous decision, one forgiving heart, one step taken despite fear, one act of generosity, one refusal to give up. God often works through ordinary people who choose extraordinary faith. Do not underestimate the power of small actions. A seed looks insignificant, yet inside that seed is a forest. A kind word seems small, yet it may save someone's hope. A single decision today can change the direction of an entire lifetime. Never despise small beginnings. The greatest oak tree was once invisible beneath the soil. The greatest achievements begin long before anyone notices them. Faith grows quietly. Character grows slowly. Purpose unfolds one step at a time. Act as though every small effort matters because it does. Perhaps today you feel uncertain. Perhaps you've experienced failure. Perhaps people have underestimated you. Remember this: failure is an event. It is not your identity. Mistakes educate. Loss strengthens. Adversity reveals hidden abilities. Gold becomes pure only after passing through fire. Likewise, strong people are shaped through challenges. If God is with you, then even your painful seasons have purpose. The road may be difficult, but difficulty is not abandonment. Sometimes the greatest evidence that you are growing is that life requires greater faith than before. Do not pray only for easier roads. Pray for stronger character. Pray for greater wisdom. Pray for clearer vision. A person who possesses these qualities can overcome nearly any obstacle. One of the greatest habits you can develop is gratitude. Gratitude changes perspective. Instead of focusing on what is missing, it recognizes what is already present. Every breath, every sunrise, every opportunity, every lesson, every relationship, every second chance. Gratitude attracts peace because it shifts attention from fear to abundance. People often ask, how do I discover my purpose? Purpose is rarely found while sitting still. It is discovered through faithful action. Take the next right step. Serve someone, learn something, improve yourself, help another person rise. Purpose often appears while you are moving. Do not wait until every question has an answer. Walk forward. The path becomes clearer with each step. And remember this, if God is with you, then your value does not depend upon applause. You do not need everyone's approval. You only need the courage to remain faithful to your calling. Some people will misunderstand you. Some will criticize you. Others may even laugh at your dreams. Let them. History is filled with people who were doubted before they were admired. Never allow someone else's limited vision to become your permanent belief. The future belongs to those who keep believing when evidence is still invisible. Act as if your prayers matter. Act as if your work matters. Act as if your words matter. Act as if your kindness matters. Act as if every day is preparing you for something greater, because it is. And above all, act as though God is walking beside you, not because life will become effortless, but because you will become stronger. Not because every storm disappears, but because you discover peace within the storm. Not because every answer comes immediately, but because faith teaches you to keep walking until the answer arrives. Stand tall, speak with hope, think with confidence, work with excellence, love generously. Forgive quickly, persevere faithfully, live courageously, and wherever life leads you, remember this enduring truth. When you walk in faith, you never truly walk alone. Thank you. Now let me leave you with another thought that has the power to change your destiny. Every great achievement begins long before the world ever sees it. The athlete wins the race in private before he wins it in public. The inventor succeeds in his imagination before the invention exists. The leader becomes a leader in character before anyone follows. In exactly the same way, the person who walks with God develops victory in the unseen before it appears in the visible. Most people spend their lives waiting for evidence before they believe. Faith works in the opposite direction. Faith believes before there is evidence. Faith thanks God before the answer arrives. Faith prepares for the opportunity before the invitation comes. Faith studies before the promotion. Faith saves before the prosperity. Faith forgives before the apology. That is what it means to act as if God is with you. It means living today as though tomorrow is already being prepared by divine hands. You cannot always control what happens around you, but you can always control what happens within you. The mind is like a garden. If you do not intentionally plant seeds of courage, gratitude, discipline, and faith, weeds of fear, resentment, and doubt will grow automatically. No gardener wakes up surprised to find weeds. They know weeds appear without invitation. The same is true of negative thinking. It requires no effort. Complaining is easy. Criticism is easy. Excuses are easy. Faith requires intention. Hope requires discipline. Victory requires persistence. Each morning you must decide what kind of thoughts deserve your attention. Ask yourself, what thoughts would I think if I truly believed God was directing my life? Would you spend hours worrying, or would you spend those hours preparing? Would you rehearse your fears, or would you rehearse your purpose? There is a tremendous difference. One drains your strength. The other multiplies it. Remember this, energy flows where attention goes. If your attention remains fixed on obstacles, obstacles become larger. If your attention remains fixed on opportunity, opportunity becomes visible. This is not pretending problems do not exist. It is choosing not to allow problems to become greater than your faith. Every challenge contains two voices. One asks, why is this happening to me? The other asks, what is this preparing me for? The first creates victims. The second creates victors. Choose the second question. Life rewards those who remain teachable. One of the greatest dangers in success is believing you have nothing left to learn. The moment a person becomes unteachable, growth begins to slow. Remain curious. Remain humble. Remain grateful. Even after reaching success, continue asking for wisdom. For wisdom protects what talent alone cannot. Think of the great rivers of the world. They do not reach the ocean because they are powerful. They reach the ocean because they never stop flowing. Some days they rush. Some days they move slowly. But they continue. So must you. There will be days when your faith feels strong. There will also be days when your strength seems small. On those days, remember this. You do not need enough strength for your entire future. You only need enough faith for your next step. God rarely reveals the entire staircase. He simply asks us to climb the next step. Many people postpone joy until everything is perfect. They say, I'll be happy when I make more money. I'll have peace when my problems disappear. I'll enjoy life when my dreams come true. But joy was never meant to be the reward at the end of the journey. Joy is fuel for the journey itself. Choose joy now. Choose gratitude now. Choose hope now. These are not feelings that magically arrive. They are decisions that eventually become habits, and habits become character. Character becomes destiny. Never underestimate the influence of your example. Someone is watching how you respond to disappointment. Someone is learning from your courage. Someone is gaining hope simply because you refuse to quit. You may never know whose life changes because you chose faith instead of fear. Your life is speaking every day. The question is not whether people are listening. The question is, what message are they hearing? Let your life say, God is faithful. Let your attitude say, there is always hope. Let your work say, excellence honors the one who gave me my gifts. The greatest testimony is not always found in words. It is found in consistent living. Do not seek significance by becoming famous. Seek significance by becoming faithful. The world remembers many successful people. Heaven values faithful people. Success measures what you accomplish. Faithfulness measures who you become while accomplishing it. There is a difference. Never sacrifice your character for temporary success. Money can be regained. Reputation can sometimes be restored. But a peaceful conscience is priceless. Protect it. Another lesson worth remembering is this. Comparison steals confidence. God has given each person a unique assignment. If you spend your life comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20, discouragement is inevitable. Instead, compare yourself only to the person you were yesterday. Grow a little each day. Become kinder. Become wiser. Become more disciplined. Become more generous. Small improvements repeated daily create extraordinary lives. A mountain is climbed one step at a time. A masterpiece is painted one brushstroke at a time. A legacy is built one decision at a time. Never despise daily progress. The future belongs to those who master ordinary days. People often wait for one great opportunity. Life usually offers many small ones. Smile. Encourage someone. Keep your promises. Arrive on time. Read another chapter. Pray another prayer. Take another step. These simple acts may seem insignificant, but they are the bricks from which remarkable lives are built. Remember that storms do not last forever. No night has ever prevented the sunrise. No winter has ever defeated spring. The seasons of life keep moving. If you are in a difficult season, do not build your identity there. It is a season, not your destination. God specializes in bringing life where others see only endings. What appears to be the end may simply be preparation for a greater beginning. When one door closes, continue walking. The hallway often leads to a better door. Trust the timing you cannot yet understand. There are blessings that arrive only after you have become the person capable of handling them. That is why preparation is so important. Pray not only for opportunity, pray to become ready for opportunity. Pray not only for abundance, pray for wisdom. Pray not only for influence, pray for humility. These qualities ensure that success becomes a blessing instead of a burden. As you leave today, I want you to carry one image in your mind. Imagine yourself walking along a difficult road. The path is steep. The future is uncertain. You cannot see around the next bend. Yet instead of walking alone, imagine that every step is taken beside the Creator of the universe. Imagine every fear being met with courage, every question being met with wisdom, every weakness being met with strength, every closed door being replaced with a better one in due time. Now ask yourself this. How would you live if you truly believed that picture? How would you speak? How would you work? How would you love? How would you dream? How would you forgive? How would you serve? The answer to those questions is the life you should begin living today. Walk boldly, speak hopefully, dream greatly, serve faithfully, love generously, stand courageously. And every morning, before your feet touch the floor, quietly remind yourself, today I will act as if God is with me, because I believe He is. When you live that way, fear loses its grip, purpose becomes clearer, peace becomes deeper, and your life becomes a testimony that faith is not merely something you believe, it is something you live. May your thoughts be guided by wisdom, your words be filled with hope, your work be marked by excellence, and your heart remain anchored in faith. Thank you, and may God richly bless your journey.